Hey, I know you ain't seen me in a long, good week, and I miss you too. I find it odd that it took me so long today to get to doing this video. It's strange. It's like Mercury retrograde is approaching. And during Mercury retrograde, I am well known for my naps. I don't know why, but it is a thing because sometimes during these times I be processing so much to where I'm helping so many people because they're processing so much, and then to where I am yet still processing so much in the midst of helping other people process so much. And I be kind of needing a nap. I'm just going to be honest. And then sometimes I be feeling like I'm trying to move too fast, and I just be like, okay, I'm going to take time for myself, and that's going to teach me how to pace myself and slow down. So somehow I've slowed down, and now we're kind of later in the day. But I know you be working, so it's probably the perfect time for like ready to unwind, catch the video, you know. However, but I won't do this too often. I like to get my work done earlier in the day, and I don't even like the word work. I like to get my activities done. I like the word activity. Anywho, because it's something I like to be engaged in. Anywho, I said all that to say this. Give me just one moment. My cat is in heat. She started yowling. I mean, as loud as can be. Because she hears me, like, doing something. She's like, what you doing? Why you not in here, like, talking to me? Why you not in here, like, playing with me? And I'm like, girl, get you some business. But I don't blame her. Because everybody get in that kind of mood every so often. I said all that said is, retrograde. Just weird stuff. Everybody process. My cat processing stuff. But I will say something about helping people process stuff, or like I'll say like my helping my cat process things, helping myself process things, and helping my plant process things has taught me a lot. Like I have a plant, that's always like nearby me. I have a cat that's always nearby me most of the time, and they have pretty much put me in a place where I'm kind of seeing things about life and how we evolve over time, and how we worry about a lot of weird stuff that really has nothing to do with like us being punished, or has nothing to do with us being like dying or losing anything. It's more so a lot of times we're going through experiences because it's gonna give us a whole new experience, like a whole new vibe, a whole new presence. Like I have this plant and it's a vine, and when I thought this vine had ended, I was like, man, this is weird. This vine done died. This plant, must be having an issue right here. Somehow it'll sprout off on the other side, or force itself to continue to grow. Where I thought it was over for the plant always keeps it moving. Like I'm just with the cat, I noticed like she's more so becoming very conscious of things. Like her consciousness about the world around her in the last 2 years is like growing extensively. Like she was highly conscious when I had her like given to me, but it's wild to me how like she's just growing, and I think that's what's happening a lot to a lot of us. We're losing things, and we're busting through, we're breaking through, we're having epiphanies, we're changing things up, and also it's like we're still young, you and me. We're still young. And I'm not being funny. Like most definitely, if you're under 100, you gotta consider yourself young. You have to, because you haven't been on the planet long enough to consider yourself old. It's like a century is old. Like we've just been here. Like what? I've been around 3 decades. Let's start counting life in decades, because I ain't even been around that many decades. Like let's be clear. Like I'm under like 80 decades. Like 10 years go by fast. Whew. I remember 10 years ago. I remember 5 years ago. You remember 5 years ago? We were doing similar things to what we're doing now, but things have changed up very, 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 very largely. I said all that to say this. I haven't pulled your cards, so I'm getting into them here. I'm just gonna take a deep breath, tap into the energy. Yeah, I sent over that workbook about the priorities list because the reading is really hitting you into getting rid of things that no longer serves you, because you're advancing to higher principles, like you're advancing to a very good life. So you gotta like start eliminating those settling moments, like where you may be settling. You gotta eliminate those moments where you feel taken advantage of, because you're an intelligent woman. You can make do with only you. You don't taking advantage of being taken advantage of mean like somebody we thought would support us um demoted us in some way. Like it's more so like a taking advantage of is like a feel like to be a flunky or an accessory to some BS. But it's like you are way too smart for that. That's not a thing that I think you really have to deal with. So I think it's really more so like in your reflecting time, you have to kind of put away a lot of pain. Like, if there are some things that are still bothering your heart in the present moment, I think you have to take yourself to a place of peace and know that you can disconnect. And when I say disconnect, I don't mean like to disassociate or create yourself this mental block against it, but I mean more so like you can disconnect from a past experience that you know isn't serving your present. Like me and one of my friends was talking about last night how when we were younger, our parents had us on this thing of like, when the food is gone, it's gone. So don't y'all just rush, like when we were kids, don't y'all just run through that food. Don't just run through that food. Like, pace it out. Like you see kids nowadays, oh, if you let them in your kitchen, they will eat you out of house and home. But I think it's because people aren't rationing like we used to, because money, like the minimum wages went up, so it seems like money is still accessible, and you can still find things on a dollar menu. Like things still can be bought at a dollar. So it's like people can like put a lot of snacks and stuff and chips and cookies and all kinds of stuff in front of kids. Kids just devour that stuff. It'd be wild. I said all this. It is. It's crazy to me how we're living in a space and time where abundance is everywhere, but we're holding ourselves back because of like these little things from our past, like these past pains. Because I think felt like it used to hurt me for my mom to be like, don't eat all these honey buns. I was like, I kind of want a honey bun a day, but she was like, when they gone, I may not get no more. And it was like, damn. So like I remember being in college and just having one honey bun in the box, like holding on to this honey bun, like, and I still may hold on to that last honey bun to this day just because of that weird stuff. And then like when you're a child, you don't know about having the abundance of selection. Like adults be having a lot of selections. Like adults may have a lot of different cereals they'll choose from, and they'll buy the child one cereal, and the child just eats this one cereal, and that's their thing. And now as an adult, you may have to notice like, oh, I gotta go from eating one cereal to being like, okay, maybe I want Raisin Bran today and Cheerios tomorrow and cornflakes the next day, or however, you get what I'm saying. So it's one of those things where we gotta shake off a lot of these pains, because you don't want them attached to your abundance and then kind of holding you back or sucking you dry on your abundance. So I really feel like you're in a place where you're very much so flourishing. Like you're flourishing and you have a lot going for yourself. And you just have to really kind of not, because I find the devil in the type of energy of wanting to hold us to a negative past, wanting to hold us to a negative experience. Because, there's always that it's a new season, it's a new day, kind of energy. So it's one of those things where we don't have to like go into that. I mean, because I remember in Snow White, like she went through that forest, and there was one point that forest got crazy dark, and she was going crazy. Like it was a dark, dark night. It was wild. I think she was hollering. It was wild. I can't remember the scene like verbatim, but like she was going through this dark place. It was crazy. And then all of a sudden the light came on, and then it was just beautiful. Life was beautiful. And it was like beautiful ever since. And then she had like one little conflict from her past, try to like swing back around. But then it was like God handled that. Like I think the woman got struck by lightning. So it was one of those things where it was like she went through, like she was living a good life. She went through this little dark patch. It was a terrible dark patch. And then things just got back to moving. And then there was one thing that came back around. It was one little last little hurdle. And then like life just moved on to a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful life. And I really think that we all have to get into that space where we're going to hold ourselves to just the beautiful life, the abundance. Like she was hanging with people who worked at a diamond mine, a gem mine. You know, like she had left where a place that looked totally abundant. She left a castle and went to a place where she was like living on her, what seemed like a nice space of land, plenty of animals, plenty of friends, good cooking, and diamonds. You know, and it just, I think if you keep your energy right, great things always come to you. Because they said she was the fairest, and I just think life really kind of treated her based on her energy, like what she was putting out. I said all that to say this, because someday a prince will come, okay? But I said all this to say this. So you have to get into a place where you're not going to think yourself out of your blessings. You got to really kind of eliminate some of those depressing energies, things that'll try to take a hold of your mind and make you doubt where you are in the present. That was always like, that was what I knew as a depressive spirit. Like it will always be something that will try to steal my joy in the present. Like it'll try to come up on me and be like, look at you, da 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 da. I'll be like, where the hell this voice come from? Like it is not that bad. It's not bad at all. Cause life is so good. It's so amazing. You just gotta keep taking it step by step. You know, day by day. Because it's one of those things, because the past is gone. That stuff is so yesterday. It is yesterday. I mean, it's gone. The past is gone. Like, you could try to reach for it in your mind, and then you can, like, bring on the experience. But even then, I would reach for joyful moments from the past and bring on those experiences. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's easier for me to go into yesterday when I was hanging with my friend and we got into it, or I can hang on to the moment yesterday where we made up. And I think I have more joy come over me in my body, in my mind, in my emotions when I think of how we made up, more so than trying to work out in my mind how we got into it. Because I felt like that we worked that out. I'm not even getting into that, because if I get back into it, then I'll be like, I feel like I want to be mad again for something. I don't even know why I would want to be mad, because it wasn't that deep. I just made it to where it was a deep thing, because it was a culmination of like, I need to address this, and I addressed it. They received it, I hope, and we moved on. So I said all that to say this: reach for the great things. You are amazing. You are fancy. You know, get out there. Do your thing. Like, feel yourself. Like, get out to feeling yourself. I really think it's important that you kind of put away some of those conflicting thoughts from the past. Like, past pains have no power in the present. And I release the past pains and align with my power in the present. I think it's easier that way, because then we just dragging stuff around that really don't have no power. You know what I'm saying? And it may try to take from your power because it ain't got no power. Because then you're putting power into it, so you're not putting power into what you need to be putting in. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hold you long because I love you so much, and I hope you enjoy your week. I do want to say I hope you've been listening to the podcast because I've been kind of doing it daily, but I'm gonna slack up on it a little bit. No shade. I'm just gonna maybe do it periodically during the week, or I may still kind of do it daily. I don't know, but I find that you may find it to be just another extra conversation to add to this one. And if you know people who you feel would love to get readings from me, just send them an episode that you think you like that resonates with something going on with you. Just send them an episode because I think they're cute. I really think they're really cute. But you know, me and you got a thing because you'll see me faithfully every week and they don't see me at all. They get to hear me though. So I said all and say this, much love, and I'll talk to you next time.